Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. This is Neyah, and in today's video I have here a very special guest. You probably already recognized her. She has an amazing YouTube channel where she shares knowledge with the tarot and spiritual knowledge. Here we have Stargirl The Practical Witch. Hello Starr, how are you doing?
Hey, how's it going? I'm good.
Thank you so much for being here today. So what I really want to ask Starr, first question, it's obviously her career as a tarot reader because that's how basically she started on YouTube as much as I'm concerned. And so in order for you guys to inspire you, Starr, how you started with the tarot and how do you perceive really tarot readings?
I got started with tarot reading when I was a really little kid. A lot of girls wanted to play with Barbies. A lot of girls were into different things, and I was really drawn into the dark or the occult and magic. And I grew up in a very Christian household where that's very frowned upon, but I always wanted to visit psychics. I was always really drawn to the tarot section in Barnes& Noble. In fact, I even convinced my mom to get me a tarot deck when I was younger, and I played around with it for a little bit. I didn't revisit it until I was about 22, and I did it because it's just something that came to me naturally. I didn't really have a plan to do it. It was just something that clicked once I got my hands on another deck.
Right. I think it's just a lot of creative people felt drawn to the tarot because there is something regarding creative people. I mean, we're all a bit creative in reality, but it's like you're drawn to them because it's a way to express yourself and also get the thoughts that you have in your mind that really express practically. You know,
That
sometimes you have intuitive stuff, but you don't go randomly to people to tell them because they will think you're nuts or something like that. But when you have a tarot reading in front of you, you're kind of like, you click with it. It's like, oh, this actually makes sense. It's not just up in my mind, right?
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense because before I did tarot, I was a songwriter and I used a lot of metaphors and symbolism in my writing. So when I started doing tarot, it just made sense to me, the metaphors and the symbolism.
Right. And I can see that by the way that you express yourself through the tarots. I mean, if you guys see her Pika cards, if you don't know her, obviously the link to her channel is going to be down below. She interprets the cards in a very different way. I mean, she sees the tarots, right? You see the meaning of the cards, but then the interpretation that you give come really internally. It's like a way to express yourself. So
Right.
it's very obvious for me that you were already songwriting or were already expressing yourself. So obviously not just the tarots, but you know, astrology is an interest subject. I made some videos about it. But another divination tool, more than a divination, another method is probably numerology, which I know very little about. What can you tell me about numerology? I see that you mention it here and there sometimes, and it's so fascinating.
Just like tarot, each number has its own vibrational frequency. So in the deck of tarot, each card has its own frequency. And when you pick a card, it's pretty much the match to your own frequency. So numbers, like everything else, have its own frequency. For instance, if you have a life path number 1, you're a natural leader. If you have a life path number 2, you're a natural lover. If you have a life path number 3, you're creative. You have creative energy. I mean, I could go on if you want me to. I could go through all the life paths. All right, so life path 4s are very stable. They're very practical. They're very detail oriented. And you can see that in tarot when you look at the 4 of Wands, which is stability in a home.
Right.
And then life path 5s are your free spirits. They can't be tamed. They want to go on adventures. They're rambunctious and crazy. And then you have your life path 6s, which are your like sensitive artists, musicians, lovers. And then you have life path 7s, which are dreamers. And then life path 8s, which are born to succeed in life. They're born to succeed. They're born to do well in the financial matters of life. They're meant to do well in business. And then life path 9s are your old souls. They're your troubled poets who have like the deepest eyes you've ever seen. Life path 9s. I mean, Kurt Cobain was a life path 9, enough said. And
Awesome.
then you have the master numbers 11, 22, and 33. And those just come with a whole bunch of crap. It comes with a bunch of intuition and psychic ability, but also comes with a lot of anxiety and a lot of depression as well. So having a master number isn't like, it doesn't make you special or anything like that. It just means you have a greater load to carry.
Right. That's very interesting. That's a very
What's
interesting.
your life path number? I'm actually really curious.
My life path number, it's number 4, which makes a lot of sense because I'm a Taurus. So I'm all about, organization and stability. But my soul urge number, it's number 7, because that's something that I learned about the numerology. You have to see the life path number, and then there is your soul number, which tells you more about your emotional world or something like that. And it's really fascinating. It's fascinating also see the combination between people. When you meet somebody, what is your life path number?
It's 33.
33. Wow. Very nice. Super creative.
Yeah. I could kind of tell you're a life path 4 because every time I watch your YouTube videos, I'm like, wow, her videos are so on point. They're good quality. You can tell she puts a lot of time. I'm just like amazed at the quality of your videos, honestly.
Thank you. But it's like from when I watch your channel, it's like you're so creative and you just can tell that. You just interpret the things on your own. And you know what I learned? This is something so cool. I've been doing this course from a spiritual teacher, and they were saying, and this is something for all of you guys, every time that you see something regarding a person that you truly are inspired about, it's because that part is also your part. So we have to own the things that we love about other people, getting truly inspired because we recognize them, because we see them also through ourselves, if it makes any sense. But
no, that's a great way to look at it for sure.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you hate something about someone else, it's because you secretly hate something about yourself. Yeah.
Right. And we never do that. Like, sometimes we say, oh, I'm so upset because this person, this and that. But then we admire somebody else, whoever that is. But we don't recognize this quality within ourselves. And that's really messed up if you think about it, because we should. We should totally be aware that, yeah, that girl, that boy is awesome. But guess what? We're awesome too. Because we're seeing those qualities,
Oh, for sure. For sure. I know like growing up, especially in my teenage years, they were so hard. And I think that's why I want to inspire like teenagers or younger people, because I know how hard it was. And I used to just compare myself to everyone. I used to be like, oh, you don't look like that. Oh, you're not like that person. I would just beat myself up. And a lot of the manifestation videos I do are designed to keep people from doing just that, beating themselves up,
And I love them. I really love them because I was watching, I think the other day prior to do this interview, one of your video where you were talking about all the things that you shouldn't do in the law of attraction. And you are one of the only ones that I heard that said there is a difference between manifesting from the ego and manifesting from the heart. And that is so true. Do you want to share this with other people?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I've struggled with this numerous times. I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. I've definitely tried to manifest from the ego before, but you'll know you're manifesting from the ego because you'll feel like there's a block when you try to manifest it. It's really hard to explain, but when you're manifesting from your heart, it's easy, it flows, it feels natural, you know it's right, you feel good, there's no guilt, there's no shame. Those aren't necessarily the words I want to use, but you get my point, right?
You get in the flow. I think that's what we're trying to get in. And there is a difference because, like you were mentioning, I want the car or the $10,000, so whatever that is you want to manifest. So that specific person, it doesn't feel dirty, but there is your higher self telling you and saying like, hey, honey, wake up. There is actually something better if you just wake up,
Well, I think when you're first getting into spirituality and the law of attraction, that's really good to do. Like manifest, $10,000 or a car, because what that does is show you that this is real. You can control your reality.
True.
So in the beginning, if that never worked for me, I probably wouldn't have pursued it more. But in the beginning, I was just trying to manifest, like steady income, a car that wasn't breaking down, and I did. And that's what got me really serious about spirituality and the hidden energies of the universe. So in the beginning of your journey, hell yeah, manifest a car, manifest money, you know what I mean? But after a while, you should shift it towards other things like
Yes. Because it's a
happiness.
door. It's a door. It's like Huxley once wrote, I think in around the 70s, and if you know the band the Doors are called the Doors because of an Huxley book which called The Doors of Perception. Nothing to do with psychedelic, but it was just the idea of getting into the door of perception. And what are the doors of perception? Like she's saying, the energies of the universe. And everybody, because we are a consciousness that it's one. We have these memories. So being spiritually awakened, yes, you can start manifesting cars and that energizes you and opens up. But then you open up to remembering who you truly are. And I think that's the entire thing in spirituality. And you just like, it's transcendental. It's never over. Like one day it's like, oh yeah, I know who I am. And that's totally cool. And the other day is like, actually, I think I don't. But that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's really cool. Another thing that I want to talk about regarding numerology, because this is something that a lot of people are going to comment about and they're going to ask. It's like, how can I find that is this person that I have a crush on, is my soulmate or twin flame with numerology? How can I compare the chart? And it's fine. I really don't know how to do it. I really don't.
I have a theory.
Right.
I have a theory based on, okay, so I heard, and based on, the clients I've had and my personal experience, from what I've noticed, twin flames life path numbers, when you add them up together, it should equal one of your life path numbers.
Nice. That's
so let's say you have someone who's a life path 6 and someone who is a life path 9 who thinks they're twin flame. If you add 6 and 9 together, that's 15, and then 1 plus 5 is 6, which equals one of their life path numbers.
That's really, really interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's different for everyone. What do you think?
I don't know. I think it's very difficult to understand from numerology and sometimes even with astrology. Like, I think your idea is really cool, or I would suggest, because twin flames mirror each other at the core, it could be that maybe one person has a life path number, maybe, I don't know, maybe 4 like mine, and the other person has 5 or has something completely different, because together they create these counterparts. This could be also an idea, but again, it could be anything. It's like with astrology. You can have some conjunction, like I mentioned in my video, but then at the core, it's an experience. So it can never be fixed upon in a box, isn't it?
Yeah. No, you know what? The twin flame thing I think is really beautiful, but I think people are too caught up with what in my birth chart says that we're twin flames and what in numerology says that we're twin flames. I think that in life you're never going to know anything really 100%. And whatever you feel in that moment, you should just go for it. If you think that person's your twin flame in that moment, just go for it and enjoy the moment. Don't worry about it, because in life we're always unsure, at least for me.
No, and that's totally, and you know what happens, because this is energy. When you believe that somebody is your twin flame, and then it got revealed to you that it's not, and then you're like, no, it's him anyway, that's fine. You know why? Because maybe that person is, but if that person is not your twin flame, thank that person, because that person is showing you who your twin flame really is. So as she said, you never know in life, and it's totally fine. You should always follow your heart. Always follow what your guts is telling you, because no matter what, it's showing you a lesson, regardless of the outcome, which nobody can be certain. Even with tarots, the future can always change. And this is something...
Why do people always want twin flame relationships anyway? They're difficult, they're hard, Why?
I think because it's in the consciousness. There are 2 reasons, I think, in my opinion. One, unfortunately, it's because there is a bit of I want to be special, which is not unfortunately, it's realizing that we all are. So having a twin flame relationship doesn't make you necessarily more special than a person that is not having a twin flame relationship. But a bit of research is because we want to find the one and only, so we feel secure within. And that's something that, guys, I'm going to be very bold and very straightforward, we need to heal as a consciousness, because true love starts within ourselves. And I'm not one of those people that tell you, oh, you gotta love yourself and that's it, and on the other it's gonna be like, yeah, but I'm depressed. How am I gonna do that? No. And I think the fact that we're not special, it's in our consciousness. As a generation, people my age, Starr age, below, we have this consciousness that we're never enough, we're never special, because social media or the media in general, we were born like, you need this in order to feel good. You need to buy this in order to feel special. And that obviously programmed us to seek for something special, because we are not within ourselves. And that's why a lot of people are seeking the twin flame journey, because it makes them feel special in that sense, which is obviously something that we need to all heal. It's part of ourselves. Because
Right.
I believe seriously that if a person is not healing something, like you're not healing parts of yourself, I'm not healing too, you know? It's not that, oh, poor Starr, you're not healing, or poor Neyah, I'm not healing this part. No, we are all in the same boat. So we all should help each other, guys, because it's a consciousness. And that's why we're doing this video in the first place.
I agree. I'm really glad and like really touched that you reached out to me, because I've been wanting to expand more in the tarot community and, you know, get closer with everyone else, because it's such a small community. And if we all just like helped each other out and we're nice to each other, we can make it bigger than the mukbang sensation. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And there wouldn't be any stupid drama. I don't know if you follow what's going on YouTube, but that's what I love about the tarot community. It's just, the comment section is so sweet, loving and supportive. You don't have any like weird bullying or internet harassment. You know, it's just like safe place to be, the last safe place to be online.
Absolutely, it is. And it's because it's a vibration. Again, we are all energy. It's like need can manifest things. Ego can manifest. Your soul can manifest. So obviously when you're putting a good intention, like tarot readers are doing, we're doing a job and you guys are responding to this job. And it's a good energy that we're putting out in the universe, because as young people, we all want to wake up this world. And that's why we incarnated in this period. Because you know what, guys, I think Starr, you agree too, we had a lot of problems when we were teenagers or even younger than that, because we needed to wake up this entire consciousness. Like there is a reason, guys, if you're watching at home and if you're feeling depressed, or if you're dealing with a lot of eating disorder, addiction, codependency, whatever that you are dealing with, it's there for a reason. And if you're responding to this channel, you're helping everybody to heal this consciousness together. We all signed up for the same journey, and this is so important that we understand that. So I totally agree with you. It's a really safe community, and it's great, and I think it's going to expand even more, and we should expand even more. We are here to stay.
Right. My friend Bridget Love, she does numerology on YouTube. She was talking about this on her video. She was saying that in 2019, it's going to shift away from, you know, material things. It's going to shift away from shallow things, and people are going to start having more of an interest in spirituality, especially in 2019. So she was saying that she sees a rise in tarot channels, spirituality channels, and, you know, that's something that's really positive and makes me really happy, because that tells me that we're entering into the age of Aquarius finally. You know?
Finally, I was like, I busted into tears when I started to see your channel and other people's channel. I was like, I can't believe finally this is happening. And I thought, if I feel this way, everybody must feel this on a certain level. I think this is the time that we were all waiting for people to finally wake up and to see, oh, I'm actually kind of like this body. It's not who I am. YouTube, it's not even who I am. I am beyond. And I am you, and you are me, and I'm everything. The respect for animals that we're having right now in a lot of communities around the world, not even just of veganism or stuff like that, but even in makeup. Like, people are finally waking up and saying, look, What about if I use a product that's a bit safer for the environment? I'm going to be coming back here probably. And what I'm going to do if the planet doesn't exist anymore, you know, and things like that.
That's the thing about the age of Aquarius. It's amazing. Things like that are going to happen and it's going to be awesome. But with the age of Aquarius comes the bad, just like the age of Pisces. And with the age of Aquarius, I see that a lot of people are awakening spiritually. I see them being kind to animals. But one thing I really want to see during the age of Aquarius is people like being kind to other people, because the age of Aquarius is a very cold sign towards other humans. So that's, I mean, even though we can say the age of Aquarius is great, it's the age of enlightenment, there also comes that like disconnect from other people and feeling disconnected from others and being cold to others. So that's something I wish we can carry over from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius, is like the feeling of family and community. But I'm also a life past 6. I vibrated a 6, so that's a very 6 thing of me to say.
No, I think it's true. I think, guys, that, you know, sometimes I see in some comment section, not just talking about tarots, but, you know, people sometimes preaching separation consciousness over petty things like, I don't know, twin flames in reality are this, or the concept of another thing is this way and must be this way. Guys, let's be open. We don't know nothing, like she said.
I agree wholeheartedly. Let's just, like, if someone doesn't share your opinion, whatever. Like, take it as a new piece of information in your brain.
Exactly. And then I think that we should all be excited. You know, let's see this guy's ass. Oh, she or he doesn't agree with me. That's so cool. She has her own personality. Let's be open. Tell me more about that. Maybe I can integrate that. And the other person should respond, oh, but this is how I see it. This is how you see it. That's cool. Let me integrate that part in myself. Imagine if everybody will do that. We will become genius. We'll be Atlantis again. Probably.
Right. The problem with it is people get so offended if you don't agree with them, though. They let their ego get in the way, then they get upset. I don't understand, but...
No, it's okay. It's because
we should be...
It's okay. It's just because it's the illusion, you know. We get caught up in the illusion and we think it's real. But again, guys, this is just manifestation teaches you, even manifestation from the ego teaches you, oh my God, a consciousness must exist because this is really happening. So therefore, if this is really happening, it must teach you that this is a matrix. This is really an illusion. And no, I'm not a conspiracy theory type of person. I'm a life path 4. I'm really skeptic, like really a lot. But it's an illusion. So don't get caught up in the illusion. The answer is in the heart.
110%. But I'm actually surprised you're not into conspiracy theories, because I feel like you're somebody who would be very receptive to them, actually.
Well, I need
Is there a reason why?
No, I need to control myself because I have first of all, I have a boyfriend with a life path number 5, and it's all about conspiracy theory and stuff like that. And when I start to watch Gaia and things about aliens or stuff like that, I just caught up so much that I need to back off for a second.
I got you. No worries.
Because otherwise I will go up like... I am so straightforward and so passionate, maybe because I'm Italian and I'm fiery. I would just go out in the street and, I don't know, do crazy stuff like that. And so I need to...
What's your boyfriend's sun sign?
Libra.
So you're a Taurus and he's a Libra.
Right.
Interesting. I've never seen that combination before.
It's really weird, but they're both ruled by Venus, which is, you know, the same root planet.
Yeah.
And then I have Moon in Aquarius, Moon in Gemini, and then rising sun. My rising sun is in Pisces and his rising sun in Virgo. So that's cool.
Your moon's in Aquarius. Okay, that's why you're into the occult and witchcraft. And my moon's in Aquarius too.
Great. Aquarius.
Anyone with a moon in Aquarius is a natural witch. Just to let you guys know.
Yeah, let's talk about witchcraft a little bit because that's really interesting. I was into witchcraft and the occult since I was a child. As I share on my channel, I used to see a bit of light beings and angels since I was a child, and my mom taught me the tarot because she was a witch. And in Italy, it's kind of like a big thing, you know, to be a bit of a witchy type of person. But obviously, you know, the occult wasn't very popular when we were young. It wasn't that much. It was popular maybe in the 90s. I don't know if you guys watched the movie The Craft. Not
Oh, yeah.
no, it was The Craft, yeah. Such a cool movie. So how do you see really witchcraft?
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I said it in the video. I was editing all night, and I'll say it again here because I don't care. I don't like labels. I don't like to be called a witch. I think that the label is kind of stupid. I don't think the religion is stupid at all. I respect it, but like the idea of labels is stupid. So to me, a witch, in my definition, is anybody who uses the energies of the universe and knows how to use the energies of the universe to manifest what they want in their life. A witch is somebody who knows of the hidden powers. A witch is someone who is aware of the different dimensions. A witch is somebody who is able to see things past the 3D reality and see it way past that.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you, Starr. And, you know, women back in the ancient times weren't even seen as witches, but they were seen as high priestess. Think about, you know, the goddess Isis in ancient Egypt, or for people that are into Atlantis, they were high priestess in Atlantis. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just using the energy of the universe, which is popular to call law of attraction, which I totally agree with you. The thing that I'm really sad about sometimes is when people, you know, come a bit from fear-based and they think that witchcraft is a bad thing. They have, you know, black magic done on them. What is your view on that, on black magic? You know, I know the darkness regarding witchcraft work.
No magic is good or evil. It depends on your intention. And you know what? I'll tell you something. When I was a kid, I did put curses and hexes on people, and you know what? They did work, okay? I'm not going to lie to you, it does work, but let me tell you something, it comes back times 3. You should never do that, simply just because whatever you put out into the universe, it will attract back to you. If you can avoid making that mistake, avoid making that mistake.
No, but that's totally true because it's the laws of the universe in the sense that whatever energy you put out, it must come back, which is good if you think about it, because every energy that you put out that is good, it's going to come back at you 3 times 3. That's an ancient witchcraft type of sentence that witches used to say, you know?
Well, you know what? I know from personal experience, it's true. It's true. You'll serve your just desserts one day. Everything always comes back to you. That's one thing I've learned. And some of it is a learning lesson, and some of it is because you asked for it and you did something stupid. So
absolutely. And I think, guys, we need to take responsibility because being manifestors, you know, or alchemists of our life means taking responsibility. And so every time we do something, we own it. And so there is no victim really, and that's something that we're all learning in a way. I mean, I'm not saying don't allow pain to come or stuff like that. Obviously you have, it's normal, we're humans, but own it. Consciously own it, which means in the negative but also in the positive. It's like I am a conscious co-creator, so I own it. It's not that I wish for things to happen, I choose. Because masters choose, and this is something that you guys need to be open about it, because I think it's great. So what do you think about this?
Oh yeah, for sure, 110%. I know, you know, I've wasted a lot of my life wishing for things to happen instead of just doing them. I always had this excuse and that excuse, and you know what? Those excuses are going to be what ruins your life, to be honest with you. You can be whatever it is you want to be as long as you stop making excuses for yourself.
Right.
And you know,
that's so true.
That's the amazing thing about it, honestly. And then you have all these mental blocks. You have all these blocks from, your childhood or past lives that I get it. It keeps you from being the best version of yourself, and it's really difficult. But once you learn to get past those blocks and say, I reject any negative thought I have in my brain, or I reject me bashing myself in my head, and I start accepting positive things about myself, that's when you start really excelling in life. And actually, I want to tell you about something, a manifestation trick I learned just the other day. It sounds like common sense, but it's something I've been consciously doing. So every time you have a negative thought about yourself, you recognize that thought and say, I reject that. And then anytime you have a positive thought about yourself, you recognize that and you say, I accept that thought. And if you do that every day for a month, it's supposed to rewire your brain. So you see yourself in higher regard. And I think it's something that has been helpful in my life. And
I think that's an amazing tip. So that's great. And I don't know if you are into quantum physics. That's how you say in English. I hope I am pronouncing this correctly. And there is this doctor called Lipton, which actually I think is on YouTube as well. And he teaches us that in the first 7 years of our learning process, we are programming. We're putting this program into our brain. So like she said, if you're recognizing the program, and you start to reprogramming yourself, you can become who you want. Literally, who you really want to be. And you are, I think, a very inspired example of that, because you shared a bit about your story and where you've been through. And I think you did something great with your channel. And do you want to share a bit of your story? Because I think it's really cool.
yeah, you know what? I love to share my story, even though it's really painful and it's really hard to recollect, because I feel like if I can pull myself out of something like that, anyone can pull themselves up. I grew up in a very unstable environment. I never felt loved growing up. I was always very alone. And I carried that with me for a very long time, and I always shortchanged myself, and I put myself in really bad situations. I danced. I was a stripper for 4 years, because that's how little I valued myself. And it's not saying that dancers are, they're not valued individuals. I don't think that at all. I have a lot of respect for dancers, because what they do is, hard. It's hard. It's not easy money. And I have a lot of respect for that. And some people like to do it because it empowers them. But for me, it wasn't empowering. I'm an empath. That's not the job for me. And I was just doing it because I thought, you can't do anything else. All you can do is, I didn't even work in a nice club. I worked at this awful hole-in-the-wall strip club where you could, as long as you had, tits, you could work there. Do you know what I mean? Right. And I just worked there because I shortchanged myself and I undervalued myself that much. And I also worked at pizza places, fast food places, and I always knew, I was meant for something. I knew I was meant to do something. I knew I was meant to help people, but I didn't know how. And then as soon as I really started getting into my spirituality and manifestation, I turned my life around. I sound like a life coach trying to sell you
No, you
life
sound
plan.
very real.
But I swear it's not like that. Just with positive thinking and the law of attraction, I made my life turn around in under 6 months. Okay, so if I can go from being a stripper, and not even a nice stripper at that, a poor stripper working at a pizza place on the side, to, having my own business in under 6 months, and anyone can.
So I think you're very courageous and bold to share your story, because again, I know for a fact that a lot of people like us have been through very dark places, and I've been there too. I mean, God, I could write a movie regarding my life, because I started, everything was fine as spirituality. I was born gifted and seeing stuff, and obviously bad stuff happened because everybody thought that I was crazy, even sometimes not in my family, but the environment around my family thought that maybe I wasn't that right. And so I have been through a lot of stuff. I've been through anorexia, for those of you guys who are dealing with that, and because I thought that I wasn't beautiful enough, I wasn't enough, I was bullied because of my weight. I share my story regarding my weight, and so that was really painful. And then after that, when you're sharing stuff about your gift, people think you're crazy, or they don't accept you, you're scary, and that's really painful. And so obviously you just build up and you build up stuff and stuff. Then I got into music, and music was good because I've been a metal singer for a lot of years, and I'm not regretting doing that. I love music. I love metal music and rock music. But obviously that led me to abusive relationship for whatever reason, because I was completely mirroring that. Drugs, alcohol, and all
I
that.
have the same story. Our stories are like this.
No
Same
way.
thing. Except I was in a punk band. I was in a punk
Oh,
band. I know it's like weird now because like my cancer rising. I'm so sweet. But yeah, I was in a punk band, and that led me to an abusive relationship with somebody in the music scene. And man, like I also struggled with anorexia. I feel like we're twin sisters, honestly, because what you just told me
wow.
is like listening to my own
But
story.
because it's the same pain, I feel that a lot of people are going to relate to this, whatever is your state right now, whatever that is. But I think all of us can agree that as a generation, we've been dealing with codependency, which could mean anything, which could mean abusive relationship, addiction of any kind, food or drugs or whatever. And it's because that was there to mirror how much we thought about ourselves and how much the pain that we really felt inside. Because I don't know about you, but I'm a loner. I don't like to be around a lot of crowds. I always struggle with that. So obviously, but I was a singer, so I had to sing. So how do you deal with that? How do you deal with the fact that you don't want to be around a lot of people because you're an empath, you feel stuff, but you want to share your gift, you want to sing. And then obviously, because it's all part of this experience, you meet people that are very abusive, that tells you you're not beautiful enough, you're not special, and that drains you, and then it's leaking your energy. But if this is happening to you, what I learned is that they want to take something from you because they see how much you're special. And so
That is true.
and
Amen.
so by saying that you're not special enough, you're never going to be like that or whatever, and it's because these people want to take something from you, that it's very, very special and it's unique. So if you're dealing with that right now, you need to be aware that they are trying to take that energy that is so beautiful about you and to use it to shine. They want to shine. They want to be the star when in
Amen.
fact you aren't.
100%. And can I add something to you about that? Because what you're saying is completely spot on. A lot of girls, I have a 15-year-old sister, okay? So she's in the blunt of social media in high school, and she's at the worst of it in her life. And I want to tell you guys something. If you're in high school or if you're somebody who's a little younger, social media is not a good comparison to yourself, because let me tell you something. Everyone face tunes, everyone body tunes, everyone puts filters. You think that girl who looks so pretty, yes, she's probably pretty. I'm not going to lie to you, but she doesn't look exactly like that in person, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I wish someone would make a montage of every famous person who face tunes or does something so you guys could see, like, that is not a good comparison for yourself. I see my sister all the time get insecure because of this Instagram model and that Instagram model, and it's just so depressing to me because she's so beautiful. She's so freaking beautiful. And I'm not even just saying that because I'm her sister. She's so exotically beautiful, and she can't see it because she's too busy, like you were saying earlier, comparing herself to an unrealistic standard.
Right, but I want to be more straightforward than that, and that's called my conspiracy Neyah mood, the goblin of conspiracy. It's because they want to program you like that. They're keeping you busy. Whoever that is, it's because you are busy, right? You are busy. You're looking at Instagram or whatever other social media you're looking at, advertisement, and you're seeing how much you're lacking what they want to buy you. So you are going to buy that specific cream, or you're going to buy that specific makeup, and so on and so forth. And I am a makeup artist. I have a diploma. I studied cosmetologist. I am telling you, all you need, it's a good cream, maybe coconut oil, less makeup, or use makeup only when you want to really, refresh yourself, you have a party or somewhere to go. Your skin is gonna look freaking awesome. You don't need anything else. And regarding Instagram, the majority of the stuff that goes beyond the scene, you don't even know, guys. The stuff that people are dealing with. You see a pretty picture, or they're always partying, they're always this, but life is that's the illusion. There is something always behind.
And you and we're now, I guess we're like on YouTube, so I guess we're a form of influencer now. And I think it's really important for like more influencers on YouTube to talk about that and be like, hey, my life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. I think there's not enough realness on the internet. There's not enough people, to relate to on a real level because everyone's trying so hard to put on this perfect face. And then what it ultimately does is make everyone feel really lonely. At least for me, in my
No, it
experience.
is, but you're saying the right thing because we are consciousness. So keep doing that. It's just portraying the illusion over and over and over again. And guys, we can stop this. And you know how we stop this? By not engaging. You don't engage. You have a choice, and the choice is I turn my phone off. I don't watch a certain content. Whatever that is. Today I made a statement on my Instagram. That's my personal choice because I was just fed up. I say I'm going to use Instagram just for the people that need to reach me for the tarots because that's going to be available always for you guys. But regarding the rest, my old profile, if I really want to change, that needs to be gone. That needs to be gone. I'm not attached to the amount of followers that I have because I am not that number. I am not a number and never will be. And nobody's going to lock me in a cage with a number. That's not going to happen, and it's not going to happen to you. How? You don't engage. That's how you do it. You say, I don't care. I used to have 10,000 followers. You delete it. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a bit about it because I am. I am not something that I'm doing. I am. And that's stronger. And
That's a really good message. I needed to hear that actually because I think a lot of us can be workaholics and really put a lot of our self-worth in what we're doing when in reality us existing and living our purest form is more than enough.
Absolutely. And then hard work, it's good. It's good when you're passionate, when you're living your life purpose. It makes you energized. You can even do 10 YouTube videos in a day, whatever that you're doing, but it needs to come from your heart. What I believe is inspired actions, guys. It's not because you have to do it. It's because it's a call. When I invited Starr over here, I was like in my garden, just doing my thing, and I had a download and saying, you need to invite that girl in. You need to do it. And I did it just because I was inspired. I didn't even know her. I just, had it on Instagram, and that was an inspired action. And we're talking here for, I don't know how long now, but that's great. That's cool. That's what you need to do. You're called to become an artist. You're called to become a writer, whatever that is. And you want to work 10 hours a day, but you're passionate about it. You're energized. Remember to eat and rest sometimes, but that's fine. You wake up a day, you don't feel you want to do something, don't do it. Don't do it. You got it wrong.
So I'm curious as to what your drive is in life besides music. Is music your thing or is it tarot? Is it music or tarot?
That's a really good question because I've been completely transforming. I always did music and singing since I was a kid, really, but for myself. And then, the first albums that I did were really cool and I was really energized. But then I got caught up in I'm signed to a label, I'm a metal singer, I have to model for some brands or doing this and that, and I just cannot fit. Like, people always want to put me in a box, say you're never gonna make it, And then what drives me, the tarot, I really like them because I can share my gift to help somebody else. Not that the music wasn't a gift that I could share, obviously it is, but it's like I knew that people needed at some point. They needed even people that are not fraudulent. They needed people that go beyond the tarot reading. It's more about, I don't even need the cards. I'm just going to tell you something for you because, that's my style. That's what I do. And then, I don't know, what it's driven me in life right now, it's finding myself, really. That's all it is. And that's the truest answers that I can give you. It's really, I want to find myself. Why we're here? That's the question, and I'm never going to stop until I found it. Why we're here, what we're doing. It's not about what you do exactly. Today you could be a singer, tomorrow you could be a tarot reader. It's just talents are talents. They're there from past lives. You got them for a reason. But what is this for, really? What is the contribution that we're giving to the world practically every day? That was really, it's driving me. And also true love, connecting people, connecting myself back to true love. Because not many people like to talk about God because that word really triggers people. I don't care how you want to label it. Labels are stupid. It's God. It's love. Sorry. It's love. It's reconnecting with the truth of who we are. And the truth of who we are is love.
Have you read that David Icke book, Everything Else is Illusion, All There Is Infinite Love?
Right.
Yeah. That book is great. I love it.
That's
100%.
right. And it's just, it's been taught so much, Starr, in ages, but we keep forgetting about it. We keep forgetting because we say, I hear even spiritual people saying, oh, because there is racism and hate, so God or, this higher consciousness must have done it because, like, why is there? It's there because it's humans. We need to take conscious responsibility of that, guys. That higher consciousness that created us didn't create the mess that we are capable of doing on Earth. It's our responsibility. So obviously the next question will be...
One thing I want to chime in on what you just said, because 110%, I actually was reading about this the other day. As long as we're slaughtering animals in the slaughterhouses, there will be war. Because, like I said, whatever you put out, you're going to get back.
Exactly.
It's the universal laws.
And it's humans. Animals are there to teach us a lesson. Because, believe it or not, guys, believe it or not, but they sign to get killed. They sign to get killed, and this is something that we need to understand. It's like everything that we do is a conscious choice. Some people won't accept it, and I'm cool with that, and you don't have to. Again, if you want to comment down below, as long as you're respectful, you're always open to do that. But believe it or not, this is what happens. So we need to awaken to the fact that the terrible things that are happening in the world are humans' hand. They're not God hand or consciousness, universe hand, however you want to label it. Why? Because if you can manifest, like she said, a car just with positive thinking, you understand that the vibration of love, the highest vibration is the vibration of the reality that you're putting out, and it's our responsibility. And that is the truth. That's why the majority of manifestation technique tells you, if you vibrate to love, you manifest what you want. Why? Because love is the highest. It's the closest to the universe, to who we really are.
Exactly. Amen. Because you know what? Instead of hating someone for what they have and what you don't have, be happy for them based on what they have, because that will actually attract more abundance and prosperity to you. It's a mistake to be jealous. It's a mistake to envy others, because when you're doing that, what you're telling the universe is, I don't want any of that. You're almost blocking abundance from coming to you. And that's one lesson I wish I learned when I was way younger.
Like, people needed somebody like Infinite Waters on YouTube. Oh God, if they needed somebody like Infinite Waters. It's a door that opens to spirituality for everybody. That dude, more than other people sharing law of attraction manifestation. And no, I think everybody's great, by the way. I follow tons of channels, so no, I'm not splitting any bad stuff regarding anybody. I'm just saying that we needed people like that to inspire. Like, we are going to need somebody in the music scene as well. Because think about it, Starr, you are a huge music fan as well. Usually, you mentioned Kurt Cobain. Great, love that guy. He was the voice of a generation, and that's what music do. Music always portrays a generation. It's been like this with the Beatles, with blues music, with the Doors, with Nirvana, with punk music. That was a bloody revolution. Right now, music is lacking. We need where is the music that speaks to a generation, to our generation? Where is it?
There hasn't been one of those in 20 years. I know people are going to disagree when they hear this, but think about it. What has been bigger than, I don't know, Nirvana? What has been bigger than Nirvana? What band has been bigger than Nirvana?
I know. I totally agree with you because the 90s with Nirvana or even Sonic Youth, but Nirvana was really huge. It was the last music that speaks to a generation. And a lot of people are going to say, but it was depressed and blah, blah, blah. But look at the generation of that time. They were
You know what?
depressed.
To this day, Kurt Cobain, when I listen to Something in the Way, I cry.
Oh my god!
It
Oh my
touches
god!
my
I
soul.
love that song. I had that
Yeah.
song in mind. That song has the soul. No, you know what? I'm gonna tell you more. I don't know if you like her or not, but I'm gonna share this. The last person that speak to a generation was Amy Winehouse. That girl had soul in her heart. Regardless if you like her albums or her music, it's the soul that speaks through music. That's what we need, guys. Whatever you're doing in life, whatever job you want to do, even if you are an archaeologist, you got to put your soul in what you're doing. That's what we
Because
need.
people can pick it up. People pick up your soul. People can tell when you put your soul in it. It's a feeling.
You know why there is a lot of theories, but because it's remembering who we are. When we are spirit as consciousness, there isn't, like, everything is shared. There isn't any secret. We are one. And we are in telepathic communication constantly. So when people on earth speaks with their soul and they create something, it reminds them of who they really are. Because music, it's the language of the universe. It speaks through vibration, therefore through emotions. So you get it. Maybe you don't like the same songs that I do. It doesn't matter. But you get the music. Why? Because you get the emotion. It's the same vibration. And we need that. We need some music that uplift us. That it's cool because we need some cool people too. We like to some good looking guys and good looking girls. But we need some good content too. I mean,
Hold on, before we move on from the music thing, I will mention My Chemical Romance, I think was very important.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people may laugh at that because they're an emo band, but I'll tell you why they were so important. And they were probably one of the last big rock bands. They were important because they gave the freaks, they gave the misfits a voice. And it was one of the only bands there that truly was speaking for the people who didn't fit in. And I think that there needs to be more bands and musicians that do that because there's so many of us who feel misplaced. Everyone feels misplaced. Everyone feels a little awkward. And I feel like there needs to be more musicians who stop trying to be like perfect or influencers or something. And we just have like raw musicians who are not afraid to be vulnerable because that's what people relate to, right?
the last question, and it's just a tiny one that I wanted to share. It's about the indigo children and how do you knew that you were an indigo child and how that helped you and how people, can know if they're indigos, what this is all about, and, your thoughts on indigo child.
Okay, so indigo children, there's this myth going around that you have to be born during a certain time to be an indigo child or a crystal child or a rainbow child. And that's just not the case at all because at all points we're going to need all three. So the indigos are meant to tear down. They're the rebels. They're meant to tear down old systems. The crystals are meant to build things up. They're technical. They're masterminds. They're wise. They're cool. They're calm. They're collected. They're geniuses, borderline, at least I think. And then rainbow children are the happy-go-lucky creative types who are kind of oblivious to the dark side of the world. They only see the light. They bring light. They're your happy-go-lucky artist types who are always smiling, or like they're naive, but also they have old soul eyes, if that makes sense. So I knew I was an indigo because since I was a kid, I was downright rebellious. I know it doesn't seem like it now, but trust me, I was just always rebelling, always asking questions, always asking why. I didn't want to listen to the teachers. I didn't want to listen to my parents. I always had to do things just to like make people feel uncomfortable when I was a teenager. And it's still like that to this day as an adult. I'm just a lot better at hiding it, I guess. You're an indigo child because as a kid, your parents will have thought you were a handful. If your parents thought you were like ridiculous and way more than any other child, or if you would go out of your way just to like push buttons, you're probably an indigo child. Now, you know you're a crystal child because people might have told you when you were a child you were an old soul. Adults might have tried to talk to you like adults. Adults might have confided in you about adult issues. And you're someone who's very logical and very smart and who kind of thinks a little deeper and sharper than the average person.
Right.
You know you're a rainbow child because I don't even know if rainbows are aware. You're a rainbow child if everyone's always asking you, why are you so happy? Why do you have so much energy? Because no one has as much energy as a rainbow child.
Okay. Enough for today, guys. I hope you liked this video. It was so rad to have here Stargirl The Practical Witch. She's awesome. Please, if you didn't know her already, check her channel. I'm gonna post her link down below, and keep in mind you're never wrong if you follow love. Thank you so much, Starr.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye.